Another video picking up on the insulation job. So the floor's pretty much done, a little bit of trim to do, still working on that, but I did want to get underneath here, under the bed. There's a lot of space that needs to be insulated. So what I've done under here is installed fiberglass batting, and I did lose a few inches back here in the back. There's this trim panel, which if you have a Travato or look, you'll probably see. So I can lay this in here. This trim panel was back inside there. You can see how it's scooped out around the wheel well. And there's very little insulation behind that. It's a typical, Winnebago effort on insulation in this thing. So it would push back in here maybe 2 inches more, but I wasn't really using that space. The drawers are just dead air behind there. So I just did full 3.5 inch bats. I did under the wheel well, or at the wheel well here, I split it in half, so it's not quite as much there. But then I wrapped the whole thing with foil, so you can see it's taped. I got the foam down at the bottom. I'm going to cut some rubber flooring and put in there just to protect the foam and quiet anything that's riding in there. I just keep my leveling blocks and a compressor and some tools in there, so still plenty of room. And then behind the electric panel, I was able to reach in here. Not easy. How much of this you can see, but I'll flip it here. Got it all taped up in there pretty well and sealed pretty well. And as I'm looking at the space behind the electric panel, there's a top on here that comes off with 4 screws. Pull the drawer out of there, and you can see, now I cut the, remember I showed that in a previous video, but I cut that storage tube out of there. That was for a sewer tube because it was too short for a sewer hose. It's too short for a real usable sewer hose. From experience, I can tell you, you can never have enough hose because you end up camping somewhere where, it's a foot further away than you can get. So I like to have one that expands to 15 feet, so it wouldn't fit in there. So I just cut that thing out, and what that opens up in there, if I build a shelf in here, is going to be a perfect spot to put the inverter, and easy access to everything that I need to do with the electric panel and all that. So that should work out fine. And put a remote switch on it that won't require me really to get in there, other than if I have to reset or something, I can pull the drawer out and reach in there and do that. So that should work fine. The floor also, I've got the floor heat wired in finally. I've got a breaker installed in the panel for it. And so just give you an idea, if we shoot you can see I'm sitting at about 73, 75. It'll jump up as it get closer to maybe one of the lines there. You can see it going up, and it might hit 80. I do have a floor sensor on there underneath the floor. I think I showed in the previous video that has it capped at 85 degrees, and so that's what the floor manufacturer calls out for the hottest temperature. So we're generating warmth when you're laying down there. It's very comfortable, but I don't think it's going to heat the van. Still going to need to be, using a furnace or electric heat or whatever. So there you go. And I'll get this all put back together once we get the rubber flooring cut. That should do it for the insulation.